Let's just say the ratings aren't the same with Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever now eliminated. Game 1 of the Aces Liberty matchup on Sunday drew an average of 929,000 viewers. Was down nearly 50% from last Sunday's Fever Sun contest. By the way, not only was viewership down, but attendance was as well.
WNBA players are frustrated after Caitlin Clark's playoff run ended, because many think fans do not care as much about the postseason without her. The newest semifinal ratings are out, and they are ugly for the league. Since Clark was knocked out after a season full of foul calls many fans believed were unfair, the WNBA has had trouble keeping people locked in. Viewership has already been cut in half since her exit, and many expect it to keep dropping as the playoffs move on.
Do you want me to just say I told you so, or are you willing to say, Stephen A., you did tell us? Really? Caitlin Clark is the golden goose.
What kind of league lets its biggest name get treated like that all year, leaves her team without a home playoff game, and then watches interest fade with every matchup? Normally, fan attention rises as teams advance deeper into the playoffs. Here it looks like the complete opposite. Caitlin is now reportedly going to Europe for some time away, but there is also talk that a huge overseas deal could convince her to seriously consider a move.
Could be a team overseas who would love to snatch Caitlin Clark away from us and give her a crazy offer. I mean, Ice Cube was about to give her $5 million to play in less than 10 games in the Big Three.
And really, who would blame her if she left? She could earn much more money than she makes now, and may also get treated with more respect. The WNBA even denied her a unanimous Rookie of the Year win. Somehow one voter chose Angel Reese over her, and fans still want to know who it was. A lot of people feel that vote simply had no logic behind it.
Should have been unanimous.
Should have been. I agree.
Unanimous.
It should have been unanimous. And one of the things that sticks with me is, well, she was the first rookie to get a triple-double.
When it comes to ratings, they keep falling, and the league is now seeing the full Caitlin Clark effect. Some players think fans were mostly tuning in for Clark, and the numbers make that hard to deny. Aya Wilson did not seem pleased when people said her game was boring. She even said this was the first season she had heard that comment so often. Even after winning MVP, Aya still has not driven league attention the way Caitlin Clark did.
A'ja Wilson, 28 years old, 1,000 points in the regular season. Why is that not the biggest story out at the moment? Why are we talking about Caitlin Clark?
Why when A'ja was releasing a shoe were we talking about Caitlin Clark?
And that brings up the bigger issue. Why was Caitlin even part of the conversation when Aya was putting out a shoe? Clark's absence from the playoffs means much more than just lower ratings. It exposes a deeper problem inside the league. The fan base still feels unstable, and the WNBA had started leaning heavily on one player to keep its new momentum alive. Caitlin Clark brought people to the league, not only to Indiana. When the Fever lost to the Connecticut Sun and her rookie season ended, the drop in attention was instant. More than anything, it revealed a hard truth. Without its biggest star, the league has trouble keeping viewers.
The 2023 season, the WNBA had grown by 40% viewership from 2022 to 2023. But with Caitlin Clark's arrival, it's grown by 400% viewership. What that means is, if the WNBA were continued to grow at the rate it grew from 22 to 23, it would take until 2028 to do what Caitlin Clark did this year.
Ratings dropped by more than half after Clark was knocked out of the playoffs, and that made one thing obvious. A huge share of the league's audience was watching because she was on the court.
Ever since, Angel Reese had that injury, to me, and also coming off of Olympic break, Caitlin Clark separated herself. Yeah. She should have been unanimous. Now, to celebrate her, one thing that people forget is, as a rookie, she was the most blitzed player in the WNBA, and she still put up 19, 5, and 8 assists.
That huge fall should be a serious warning for the WNBA. For years, the league dealt with low ratings and poor attendance, but Caitlin Clark's breakout year looked like a real shift. Her games brought in massive audiences, and for a while it felt like the league had finally found real momentum. But now that Clark is gone, that growth does not look as solid as many hoped. Without her in the playoffs, the WNBA has had trouble holding the same level of energy. A lot of fans who had been watching every game for Clark stopped paying attention once she was out. The team still playing may be strong, but they do not have the same pull or excitement she brought. That has clearly hurt the overall playoff buzz.
There was a Jordan effect on the NBA and the game of basketball. I would argue at one point early on there was a Steph Curry effect on the NBA and on basketball also. You bet your ass there is a Caitlin Clark effect on all of basketball, and especially on women's basketball.
One of the most upsetting parts of Caitlin Clark's playoff exit is the way it happened. All season, she took heavy contact and physical defense that many people felt was not being called the right way. For all the praise the league gave her talent, it did not protect her like a player of that level should be protected. This was not about one or two missed calls. It felt like a season-long pattern of rough treatment that wore her down and helped shape the way her year ended.
We don't want fans that are going to degrade us and call us names. I mean, we already see what's happening in the world. Something needs to be done, whether it's, them checking their fans or this league checking.
The series against the Connecticut Sun made that issue easy to see. Clark was hit hard several times, yet the officials often seemed late to call it. It felt like the league did not fully understand how important it was to protect its biggest star. Fans watching were angry as they saw her take contact again and again with little help from the refs. And this is not just about one bad series. It points to a bigger problem in the WNBA. Officiating has been an issue for years, especially when games get too physical. But when the player leading your league's rise is being treated like that, it becomes a much larger concern. The WNBA cannot afford to let its top star keep taking that kind of punishment.
Racism has been impacting the WNBA well before this year. This is not a new thing. Sure. This is, in that way, I do think Caitlin's being used as a pawn. Caitlin didn't bring racism to the WNBA. This has been happening, and that I think is what's been such a shock for all of us.
Caitlin Clark's rookie season was not just a personal breakthrough story. It was a major chance for the WNBA to introduce itself to a much larger audience. Her games pulled in viewers from across the country, including many people who had never watched the league before. Clear Online.
Are very, very few people, but there are some out there who resent the fact that this young white girl came out there and did her thing. Rookie of the year, 4th in the league for MVP voting, assist leader, one of the top leading scorers after the Olympic Games. She put on a show, validating all the attention she was receiving.
That has created a growing belief that the league is not doing enough to protect its stars, and that could damage fan loyalty over time. Right now, the WNBA is in a risky position. Caitlin Clark has already done more for the league in one season than many players do in entire careers. But if the league does not move to protect her and players like her, it could push away the same stars helping the sport grow. This is not just about wins and losses. It is about where the league goes next.
Number of viewers for WNBA games that Caitlin Clark is not in is like 3 to 4 million. When she's in the game, when it's her game playing, it's like 17 million.
Yeah. Well, I also look at the attendance in the arena.
Yes.
It's 8 to 10,000 everywhere else. Caitlin Clark, 17, 18,000.
And if Clark's playoff exit was not already frustrating enough for fans, another controversy came right after it. Even with her record-setting season and the massive impact she had on the WNBA's growth, Clark did not win unanimous Rookie of the Year. That surprised a lot of people. Considering what she did on the court and how much she boosted league attention, many felt the award should have been unanimous. Her season was incredible, yet one voter still picked Angel Reese instead.
No matter if you are rooting against Caitlin Clark because you like another team, there's very few of them.
I'm excited
even if it's that.
I'm excited to see who it is.
That choice upset a lot of fans. For many of them, there was no real argument for choosing anyone other than Caitlin Clark. She had almost single-handedly lifted the WNBA's profile and was the main reason the league saw such a huge jump in attention. So when she missed a unanimous vote, it felt disrespectful to both Clark and the people supporting her. What made it worse was that the league did not reveal who cast the one vote for Reese. Keeping that person unnamed only added to the anger, because many fans believe Clark still is not getting the credit she earned.
That second half really set the tone for me, for her to be, and should have been, the unanimous Rookie of the Year.
And it wasn't just one triple-double, she had 2 on the season.
And this is why we would love for the WNBA to make voting not anonymous. Because if you were the person that had that one vote, you should just be able to stand on it, and we should know who you...
Missing unanimous Rookie of the Year is not just a short-term issue. It could also shape how fans see the league going forward. Clark did everything possible to raise the WNBA's level, but when the moment came to fully honor what she had done, she did not receive complete recognition. For many fans, that left a bad feeling. A lot of them believe the league still is not fully valuing what Clark has done for women's basketball. And giving one vote to Angel Reese instead of Clark only made more people question how fair and serious the voting process really is.
Who's the best player in the country?
To the media or me?
As you see it.
I feel like I'm the best player in the country.
For Caitlin Clark, that Rookie of the Year snub will probably turn into more motivation. She has already shown she can be one of the best players in the league, and this will likely push her even harder in the seasons ahead. But for the WNBA, this created a problem that is not going away anytime soon.
My question is, who did it? Speak loud and clear, raise your hand, all that good stuff.
Now Clark is entering a break of around 200 days from professional basketball, and the WNBA has a major problem ahead of it. Over the next several months, the league will need to find a way to keep fans interested without its biggest attraction on the court. Yes, there will still be other basketball to watch during that stretch, but that does not make things easier. Ratings were already dropping as soon as Clark's playoff run ended. During this long break, the league will have to work hard to hold people's attention. The truth is simple. Without Clark, the WNBA is facing a tough climb because she was the player drawing the most attention.
Basketball has really consumed my life for a year, so I feel like it'll be good for me to kind of reflect back on everything that's happened.
If the WNBA wants to keep Caitlin Clark for the long run, it needs to take real action now to protect her on the court. The physical hits she took during the 2025 season cannot become the normal standard. If the league does nothing, it risks pushing her toward other options like the EuroLeague, where players can often make much more money and get better overall treatment. Overseas basketball has become a serious choice for top players, with bigger paychecks and in some cases a better environment. If Clark ever decided to go that route, it would be a huge blow to the WNBA. The league cannot afford to lose someone who has done this much to raise its profile.
A rising tide lifts all boats. If folks were more receptive to it, more moments would have arrived. I still contend Caitlin Clark should have been on Team USA. Imagine the international, the global audience that would have followed her. But folks missed it because of feelings, not business.
To prevent that, the WNBA has to make Clark's safety one of its top priorities. That means officials need to call fouls when they happen, protect her from overly physical defense, and make sure she is not forced to take the same kind of punishment that helped end her playoff run. Caitlin Clark's impact on the WNBA is impossible to ignore. She brought in new fans, raised ratings, and gave the league a level of attention it had not seen in years. But her absence also exposed a weakness, especially how much the league now depends on one player to keep people watching.
Somebody thinks Angel Reese was the Rookie of the Year? Fine. Maybe it's a writer who covered her team in Chicago. Okay. It's not the end of the world. Like, I don't know if Caitlin Clark's going to go, can you believe I didn't go unanimous? Now, I thought we would have unanimous MVP and unanimous Rookie of the Year.
The next few months will matter a lot for the WNBA, as it tries to get through this stretch without Clark on the floor. The league needs to respond quickly to the problems her absence has exposed, or it could lose the momentum it worked so hard to build. Moving forward, the WNBA must do a better job protecting its stars, develop more top talent across the league, and keep fans engaged even when its biggest name is not playing. Caitlin Clark is not just another player. She represents the future of the league. If the WNBA wants to keep growing and keep bringing in new fans, it has to understand her value and do everything it can to keep her protected and satisfied. If the league keeps ignoring what many fans see as unfair treatment toward Caitlin, it risks losing the player who made it feel important again, and the fans who came with her. If you enjoyed this, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on the screen now.